with y'all, man? Welcome to another episode of Check the Stats Podcast, man. We on episode 23, as you can see. So I ain't even gonna waste y'all time. Let's jump into it. So, what are y'all thoughts on tonight's games? Starting with Buffalo versus Jacksonville.
Let's just clear it out in the air. I mean, Trevor Lawrence is some ass. Like Trevor Lawrence is ass. Doug Peterson's ass. He's gonna be fired halfway through the season. I mean, it was pretty embarrassing. Which makes me feel better as a Texas fan. No, we just got our ass kicked by the Vikings, and I'm a little salty about that. Ruined my Sunday and all. But it was a complete domination from start to finish. Josh Allen. No disrespect for me. That's a top 3 quarterback in the NFL. He showed it on full display today, controlling the game from start to finish. Their O-line. I mean, that O-line is like that's a top 3 offensive line in the league, because I promise you, even with the good offensive lines, you're at least gonna get a couple pressures. You're gonna get hit. I mean, Josh Allen's back there. He 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007. Wait, hold on. Let me come up. 2008, 2009. I'm like, bro. Like, what are they all in? Like, all 4 of them? You know, when you playing Madden, and you can go to the lineman, you can all make them do QB like spy. So like, it just looked like all of them is out there just looking at Josh Allen. Like, I'm like, bro, like, go get him. Like, literally get him. And he just cradled them to pieces, man. I mean, the game was so boring. I know a couple people, my partners, they turned off at halftime. I mean, it just wasn't even worth the watch no more. 34-3 at halftime. Like, hey, as a Texas fan, it excites me to say that Jacksonville is ass because we guaranteed at least the division. So it makes it a little easier on me. But overall, man, it was, please don't put Jacksonville on no more primetime game. Leave them at the 12 o'clock noon spot, because there's gonna be a lot of B2A.
Yeah, that was awful. That was a terrible game. I ain't gonna lie. I was looking at that and thinking that would be the more marquee matchup, because I didn't really. While I had respect for the Commanders, I thought I had a little bit more respect for Trevor Lawrence and what he was able to put forth. And that was a waste of time. That was probably the worst football I've seen all season so far, in all honesty. And that's coming from a dude that watched the Saints put up 30 against the Panthers at halftime. The Bills put up 34, and they was a field goal away from putting up 50. So, like, that is horrible. Trevor Lawrence, man, looked like he was on the wrong side of a Disney movie. The way that interception of Damar Hamlin looked so magical. Hey, that's tough.
Wide open. He threw it directly to Damar Hamlin. I said, bro, the only reason I stayed a little bit to even finish watching the game, because I had money on it. And I lost because they freaking took out ETN and Brevin and Strange. Like, it's always something, bro. You would think, damn, pass, bro, they're going to have to throw the football. I'm thinking I'm going to hit all my best for that game. And then they just magically, bro, it was one pass, bro, before halftime, and he threw it. He was in the middle field wide open. If he hit that, I covered. I would have won money. This nigga skipped that hoe off the ground. This hoe hit Brevin Strange in the chest. Nigga, I wanted to go strangle him. Like,
man, it's tough. And Trevor Lawrence, where you at, bro? I mean, we had people defending you at one point. Hey, that's tough. I mean, I never was a believer in the Jaguars to start off the season, and this is just more validation. I mean, I didn't think that they was going to do anything whatsoever. But the Bills, they look pretty impressive. They have a claim to be one of the best teams in the AFC by far. And in all honesty, you could probably have a bit of an argument to say that they are better than the Chiefs if you really want to go there. I don't want to, push the agenda too much so far, but I do like what I see from them. They have really impressed me over these past few weeks for sure. Jaguars, it's going to be a long season, boys. Just go ahead and get ready to pack them bags once y'all play the Texans.
Yes.
They say, because we got them next week, and boy, hey, stay right there. Stay right there.
I told you about that plan.
What I tell you?
Let me go get my bill. What they telling me about?
Like I do Mario and Madden, man.
This nigga stupid.
But man, forget that. Let's get into the real game, man. Commanders versus Bengals, man. The late night game, and it did not disappoint. I just want to start it off by saying, Lord have mercy. Jaden Daniels, hey, I'll be the one to get the hatred because you know what? We the next up and coming. We gotta beat them guys, man. I'm gonna beat them. Jaden Daniels is better than Lamar Jackson. Not now, but I think he is a better quarterback. He is a better quarterback. Like you can win with Jaden Daniels more than you can win with Lamar Jackson. I think, and like Charles, you know, he left and stuff. I mean, obviously he's from the Baltimore area, so I'm not really expecting nothing different from him.
Okay.
Where he go?
I can see. Okay, I can see why you saying that. Because the flashes that he showed out tonight. I mean, 21 for 23, 3 tuds. I mean, 294 yards total, like passing, bro. He went crazy, but like you said, he's not better than Lamar right now. But I see what you. I see the vision. Like
Charles, you looking crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Cause like
I don't lie. Like
that's not no bold statement. If you're really looking at it, like, bro, he's not reliant on his leg. Like that's last resort. He want to go out there and throw that hell, and he has accuracy. He has touch. He has awareness. He has kahunas. Nigga, do you know how much kahunas you gotta have to go for it on 4th and 4, and you're in field goal range, and you told coach, stay your ass over there. I got it. Give me the play. Nigga, like, bro, he's that dude. Like, he's him. Like, game 3,
Heisman for a reason.
Bro. He's him. Like, that's CJ Stroud type stuff I just seen from him. Like, that's literally what I seen last year from my guy. Like, he got the kahunas. Cliff Kingsbury is an excellent. He's a quarterback wizard. Kyler Murray looked amazing with Cliff Kingsbury before Kyler went to do his own thing and stuff. But I mean, Jaden Daniels, bro. I truthfully feel you can win with a quarterback, Jaden Daniels, before you can win with Lamar Jackson. And that's not to say that Lamar Jackson isn't better than him right now. I'm not saying that. I'm not insane. I'm not going off of the one game hype, but his legs are. I mean, Lamar Jackson's legs might be more dangerous, but he needs his legs in order to be the best version of himself. Jaden Daniels' legs is just a bonus. Like his arm is live. Like he has zip. Like the velocity on his throws. I mean the touch. I mean the touchdown he threw to ice that game, bro. They zero blitzed him. Nigga rushed right in his face and he dropped that bitch in the bread basket. Like beautiful. That was a beautiful pass. And quite frankly, I can't say that I've ever seen Lamar Jackson throw a pass like that under that duress with those stakes. And you can kill me and you can say I'm crazy, but in Lamar Jackson's 6 to 7 years being in the National Football League, I have not seen him make those type of plays with his arm. At least everything's coming with legs, or I'm gonna throw something quick to my big tight ends or my bigger receivers, and they gonna do yak and do the rest. Like his arm talent is supreme, bro. That's not me just glazing off of one game, but bro, I see it. Like I'm not finna sit here and be blind and be like, oh, he's a rookie. Let him get filmed. Like he's confident. Like that's like some like nigga, I'm here, nigga, prime time, nigga, the whole world watching me. Like realistically, how many primetime game watching I realistically have? And he put on a show, bro. He put on an absolute show. Hopefully I don't get killed too much for it. I mean, shoot. If I end up being right, we're gonna go back to this exact moment in time right now. So people know. But Jaden Daniels, bro, he that guy, bro. He's that guy. He outperformed Burrow, and Burrow had a great game.
He did.
That's how you know he on some like different type of like he went head to head with a top 2 quarterback in the league and beat him being perfect on every single possession. He didn't look for no defensive bailouts. It was no punts. it was no punch. He had to go band for band with the best quarterback in the league.
He really came with that. He came with that heat, bro. As I'm like, yeah, I'm that dude. Like, I'm gonna show you why. You know what I'm saying?
And Charles, it's okay
Why?
to
I'm gonna show
hate.
you
I
why.
understand you. Like, you're a natural born hater. Growing up Tennessee Titan fan, originated in Baltimore, cause now you're a Lamar fan. I mean, it's okay. I understand it's a hard road being a hater, but eventually you're gonna have to come on the right side of the table and open your eyes fully. I know you got crust in them still, but you're gonna have to wake it. You're gonna have to wake it up, man. Jaden Daniels looks like a better version of Lamar Jackson.
Bro,
And
I was gonna say too, like, I like when you said like the CJ Stroud, like he looked like CJ Stroud out there last year and everything like that. I was like, damn, like he really came into the league and just like he's been playing good since he got in the league. You know what I'm saying? This is just like crazy, bro. Like it's only a select few of people that can do that. That's just like got it that way, bro.
me, CJ,
That's how I
Nigga
know
said
you.
me. We're not gonna fake like we ain't just trying to slide us up in there.
Nah,
Yeah, but
nah, I ain't gonna lie. That's insane. Like to have that kind of take in itself. I'm not gonna sit up here and kill you for it because I've seen a lot from Jaden Daniels in this game, and a lot of what he did was his arm talent, and he did perform in a level that you would kind of think of him as being a better level passer at this moment in time than what Lamar Jackson was coming into the league, possibly even comparable to what he is right now. But do you know how high of a bar that is? I mean, granted, you talking about you don't want to.
what's the bar?
What's the bar,
Bro, he
bro?
has 2 league MVPs. He's been subpar in the playoffs, and his arm he can't win you a Super Bowl. Like as the league, like do you know his win percentage these past years of him being the starting quarterback of the Baltimore Ravens? Like and truthfully, we're gonna have to really open our eyes and really get into the meat and potatoes of this conversation, bro. He's close to that same conversation as Dak. And like you could kill me for it and you can say I'm crazy, but regular season, you're a hell of a guy. You're a hell of a guy. Now Lamar Jackson, I say from the jump, I don't believe in that crap. You can't run your way to a Super Bowl as a quarterback. And Jalen Hurts, his arm just so happened to be live that year. Well, let me not even say that because that's discrediting my own argument. Jalen Hurts ran into a situation where he had the New York Giants in the second round. Even though they beat Minnesota in the first round, I mean, the Giants were still the Giants. Their lead receivers was Isaiah Hodgson, Darius Slade, and like they're not beating the Eagles. Let's be honest. And then ran into a San Francisco 49er team. Shoot, with no quarterback, they got McCaffrey taking snaps. So like Hurts, he really made it off default, low key. But to his credit, he balled out in the Super Bowl. But Lamar Jackson, bro, like, let's be honest. Like, what has he done significant in his career to really just say, like, nobody can come near him because he got 2 league MVPs and has a high winning percentage because he has a great ass team around him? Like, now he got a situation this year where his team isn't great. His team is a good team. I wouldn't say a great team. Now it's really time to see if you like that. They 1-2 right now. Have we ever seen Lamar Jackson in the beginning of the season this low off the ground? Like, realistically, no. Like, nobody can sit here and tell me we ever seen Lamar with a negative record as he been the starter of this team. If I'm wrong, you can tell me now. But have the Ravens ever been under 500 this early in the season since Lamar been the quarterback for the Ravens?
I don't know that answer off the top of my head. I'd assume no, but at the same time, you come into these type of conclusions. We already know about how you feel about Lamar. We already know that you don't think that he's gonna, has the capability to get to that Lombardi. And and let me get this straight. You see all these traits from Jaden Daniels in this one great game. And you talking about you don't want to, overemphasize and glaze the performance that he had. And yet you talking about him being upon the likes of one of the most elite quarterbacks we have in today's game. And granted, I don't want to sit up here and act like MVPs is the end all be all because it's not. I mean, if that's the case, then James Harden would be viewed way differently than what he is now. So as Joel Embiid. So you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you got to kind of put this into some level of consideration. I put more emphasis on the performance Jaden Daniels did on the offensive coordinator in Cliff Kingsbury. Like, he dialed up a hell of a game plan. I mean, he got both backs involved in the passing game, at least until Austin Eckler was getting knocked off. He got the O-line was putting in some fucking work. Like, it was shutting them boys down pretty much up until the fourth quarter when Trey Hendrickson finally decided to, leave his imprint on the game. But even then, the game plan was so good enough that, like you said, they felt confident in going for it on fourth down on multiple times, putting the ball in Jaden Daniels' hands and telling him to go make a play because the play calling itself was perfect. Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry, had a monster game. And that's not me trying to sit up here and take credit away from Jaden Daniels because he played excellent. You don't just walk into a top-tier quarterback's home and knock them off unless you do something pretty damn spectacular and pretty damn outstanding. But at the same time, I can't just sit up here and think off of one great performance. And it's not to say he hasn't played good the earlier part of the season. Like, he played fairly well, played better than every other rookie quarterback this season so far. So he's definitely in the lead for the rookie of the year for sure. But I can't just let one excellent performance just have me projecting the craziest of things. I mean, even with C.J. Stroud lighting up Jacksonville last year on the road and lighting up Burrow on the road, I didn't automatically just think to myself, boom, I have this projection of him being a top 3 level quarterback off the rip. It took time, and it took time for you too. It takes time for everyone. So, I mean, you may sit up here and see traits, and that may be true. Maybe I'll be wrong on that, and I will stand on that decision. And it's not to sit up here and pretend like or act like I'm a hater of Jaden Daniels, because I'm not. He played exceptionally well. He played great, as a matter of fact. He went and banged the drum on the shield, walked into Burrow's land, and dominated in a game in which Burrow played excellent. You don't just win a lot of games when your defense gives up plus 30 points. Like, that's incredible. No punts. You know what I'm saying? Only 3 drives didn't end in scores, and one of them was just a missed field goal. The other 2 were just end of quarters, end of halves. Like, that's special. That's a special game plan for you to dial up to be that locked in on the offensive side of the ball. So I want to give him credit. And I'm not taking credit away from him, but I'm not just going to sit up here and just act as if this one performance is just going to all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, leapfrog him into these talks. At least not after one excellent game.
All
not
right.
till.
So you see how you kind of like, it's like you're not fully understanding like what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's better than him right now. I'm saying that I can see from that performance alone that you can win with a quarterback like him rather than a quarterback like Lamar. And that's not saying like nigga Jaden Daniels is better than Lamar today. It's saying that I seen something in him that if I'm crazy going on a limb and saying like, bro, he looks like a potential top 5 quarterback in the league. Not now, but I'm saying in general off of that one game. And that's going out on a limb because he could be trashed the rest of the season. He could be inconsistent. And I got to eat my words and be like, well, I was wrong. But I'm taking a chance. I'm saying off of that game, I seen the same shit from C.J. Stroud 1 year ago. 1 year ago, where he first 2 games he looked like a rookie, figuring it out. Not the best of starts, but week 3, which where we in right now, week 3. CJ didn't have prime time. CJ was just down there in Jacksonville, Florida, and showed out. I mean, he had 7:15 prime time going up against Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins return. Like, it was, bro. He had the stage. His team really was the worst team. I mean, I couldn't tell. I mean, shoot, that team looked great. I chose Washington to be the. We gotta go back. We gotta go back to that tape because I don't want to sit there and lie and say I had them second. I believe because I don't like the Cowboys, but it's insane for you to just think one game is just crazy just to like speak what you think you're gonna see in the future or what's about to still come. And it feels, I don't know. That felt really disrespectful. I can't believe you just did my boy like that.
It's not me trying to be disrespectful. It's just me trying to put things into perspective. Because this whole dynamic of why we're even talking about this is because of the fact that you don't think Lamar's level of like his style of play is capable of winning a Super Bowl. I firmly disagree with you, and I've said that on multiple times. So
why hasn't he won one yet?
You said why hasn't he won one yet?
Yeah.
Because he was on the losing side. I mean, that's just as honest as it is.
No, I'm talking about like since you think you can win with a quarterback that plays that level of football, why hasn't he won one yet? And he had superior team. Especially he had 2 number 1 seeds while Mahomes was in the AFC.
Okay. I'm not going to sit up here and make excuses. Because he hasn't played his best football in the playoffs. Not every single time. But you know what I also said? Players that are a different breed will make elite level talent look average compared to them. We've seen it with Tom Brady and the likes of Peyton Manning basically dominating the AFC and the NFL on multiple fronts. And now we're in this Mahomes era. And he's making Josh Allen, who we just seen almost put up 50 on the Jags, look minor compared to him. He just dominated Lamar Jackson in the playoffs. Well, not dominated because the defense kind of held him in check to a certain extent, but he outplayed them in the playoffs against a team that was better than him in the 49ers on 2 different occasions. He knocked them off in the Super Bowl. He knocked off a Philadelphia Eagles team that had 70-plus sacks in the regular season. And he was putting up a fight against the Tom Brady-led Buccaneers in his first year with a depleted O-line throwing passes parallel to the ground that's hitting receivers in a face mask. I ain't talking about the numbers on the chest, the face mask. It's elite level quarterbacks that can sit up here and make other quarterbacks just look minor when compared to them. And that's in all levels of sports. There's a reason why we talk about the likes of Michael Jordan and LeBron James and Kobe Bryant when compared to the likes of, say, a Clyde Drexler, a Charles Barkley, you know what I'm saying, a Dirk Nowitzki, who's great, who are all great in their own rights. But when compared to those top tier talents, they don't amount to that. And this is what we've seen in terms of Mahomes. I already told you the buck stops at Mahomes. Until you find someone that can knock him off, he's going to be that consistent level of player that's going to always be a roadblock for you. Now, in your defense, he doesn't play Mahomes every single time in the playoffs. He's lost games in which he played against Tennessee and he lost against the Bills. That's understandable, and I have no argument against that for sure. I'll give you that credit for all intents and purposes. But all of those teams have one thing in common with Lamar. They got knocked off by the same guy, the same exact guy that's dominating the entire NFL for whatever the case may be. So, that it is what it is. I'm not going to sit up here and act like Lamar is perfect because he's not. But that doesn't, for you to make it seem like his way of style of play is just unable to get them to the promised land when he's essentially defied all odds in terms of what he's done in the league already. I find that insane to believe. Now back to Jaden Daniels. I do like what I saw, and maybe he can get to that point. I understand your argument in terms of he's not better than him right now, but he has a chance to be a top 5 quarterback in the future. And I did see some traits of that. So I won't sit up and act like that in a sense is crazy. I just don't want it to be seen as – I'm just trying to make a distinction of being clear about what Jaden Daniels represents and how high of a level he has to be to get to the likes of being better than a 2-time MVP, being better than the likes of a guy who is voted by their peers as essentially the best player in the league at times before, being seen as a guy who is literally the system of their entire offense. Like there's some major leaps that you got to take in your game to even be on that level. And it's not to say that he can't do it because he's looking pretty damn good so far. But I just want to slow my roll and ease into that before, I jump off and hop into that level of thinking, at least not off the rip.
I mean, you sound crazy right now. I ain't gonna lie. You just broke down a whole Mahomes. He just broke down a whole Mahomes breakdown of how he beats everybody. Now, that's not what I'm saying. We know Mahomes is great. But if you're that level of good, too, I'm not saying you the same level of Mahomes, but if you're good enough with those squads he rolling in there with, bro, despite the receivers, because he do it all year, If you gonna run that ball, run them to the Super Bowl. You had your head-to-head matchup with Mahomes. What he do? Piss down his leg, try to be a pocket passer. Couldn't do that. Was scared to run, and ultimately they didn't win that game. Which obviously all losses aren't created equal. So that don't mean just Mahomes is out there. He just at the end of the game with the ball. Like you got a chance to do something with the ball as well. It's not just, and obviously their defense was great. I'm not going to sit here and say I can't say the defense wasn't great, but Lamar Jackson had the number one offense in the league that year. They was great. They had all these weapons and all that stuff. And then what happened? Why the weapons stop? Because you play Mahomes. Mahomes didn't have a good game. You just had a worse game. Like Mahomes literally was just like, I'm just not gonna lose this game whatsoever. Like we'll run the football for all I care. I won't throw the deep balls. I'll throw whatever they give me. But he didn't play good enough to not lose that game. Lamar played bad enough to not win that game. And that's what I'm saying. Like it's not like to sit here. We put Lamar in these different stratospheres. Like what he doing is just next to none. Like we didn't see Mike Vick do it. Like, and to say he didn't get the kudos of getting MVPs and all that stuff because obviously the league was talent filled with quarterbacks playing at elite levels from start to finish. Lamar just won this MVP this last year because every quarterback they was on like a B plus this year. Nobody had that A plus year. Mahomes was throwing all them picks, and everybody was like, "The Kansas City threw." Josh Allen, they was down in the playoff rankings, and they surgically came back and won the division at the end of the year. C.J. Sharp was a rookie. He played great, won the division, but 10-7 is 10-7. And then San Francisco, I mean, Brock Purdy came in second. So I'm like, who else was going to realistically win that award? You're not giving it to Tua. Tua played bad, lost the division. You're not giving it to any of these running backs or receivers. That's offensive player of the year. So, truthfully, nigga, Lamar Jackson won that hell because the whole league was awful. Like the whole league.
I don't like that angle you taking.
But it's not an angle though. It's just the facts. Like you can't sit here and say Mahomes played his best year. Nobody played their best year for the exception of CJ. And I'm not even gonna say CJ because we don't know what's yet to come. But CJ Stroud played to me the best level of quarterback that last year. His record, unfortunately, it can't represent MVP. And he missed 2 games. So he had 23-5. Lamar Jackson, his dual threat ability, played all 17 of the games and beat top heavyweights at the right time. Like, it got to the point where it's like, bro, who else are we going to get this award to? Like, Lamar Jackson on the best team in the tougher conference. Why am I not going to give it? He been looking steady. He's the only one that's still looking steady and have his breakout games when he need to have them. Like, I'm not finna sit here and just glaze him like, oh, like, he's just like the best thing I've seen. I promise you, we can plug in another quarterback from it. You put Matt Stafford on that Ravens team, they're gonna be a better team. And shoot, you can call me crazy all you want to. You can say, oh, you true, that's a 2-time MVP. Nigga, that running not gonna get you nowhere. That running don't make you good. That running is always and forever will be the best aspect to a quarterback if it's his complimentary piece. It can't be your main piece. So for you to sit here and say that, I mean, you're just going to continue to get proved wrong year after year. When you continue to believe in Lamar, he's so great where he's going to change it again this year. He's going to be great on the ground. He's going to take us there. And then when they lose and piss down their leg again, we're going to sit here and come back to the same discussion because he got 2 MVPs and that team done won 12-plus games. And we finna glaze them. And
so I got a few things I want to say about that. First off, you make it seem like I'm coming at this as if I'm like a Baltimore fan.
Omari, did we not already talk about that earlier?
Say that with a straight face.
Look at him.
Say that with a straight face.
He can't even say nothing. He just like,
you know why he can't say nothing? Because he off that Cayman. He off that Cayman. It done got to him already.
No, it ain't got to me. I'm chilling. I ain't even drank this. I'm just listening.
That man is in denial.
I'm just listening for real.
But you mentioned Michael Vick and him not getting the credit that he was due when he was in Atlanta back in them days. You know why he didn't get a lot of credit?
Because he was with Brady's and the Mannings and the Phillip Rivers and those type of guys.
Okay, you know why else he didn't get a lot of credit? Because he wasn't winning. You act like his level of play at that time in general was conducive to them getting some level of productivity in terms of team success. When in all reality, as electric and as iconic as his style of play was, to basically kind of, in a sense, pioneer the level of dual threat quarterbacks that we see to this day, he wasn't getting the job done when he was in Atlanta. They wasn't going to Super Bowls. I don't think they went to the playoffs multiple times if my memory serves me right. So I mean, hell, they shipped us. Well, they didn't really ship him out because of his whole situation,
Legal
stuff. Yeah, but eventually he found his way outside of Atlanta. And when he went to Philly, it's not like there was some world beaters when he was at the helm. So I mean, like, that's one thing. Two.
But before you leave that point, the only reason that's why I say you can't win with them. Once the legs not there no more, once the ability kind of gets to fading away, you can never win with those type of quarterbacks. They're electric, they're exciting, they're what the kids want to see, but we have yet to see a running quarterback win you a championship in this modern day NFL.
Obviously, I mean, like, we're gonna compare the running quarterback to the slasher in the NBA. You can only go so far with your athleticism until your athleticism doesn't take you that way.
Nah. So we just had Giannis.
Yeah, we just had Giannis in his prime. When he loses his prime, he has to rely on his outside shot. Most likely, right? Okay, he's not gonna be able to go be a train that can run through everybody, pause, and just do his own thing in the paint. He's not going to sit up here and just do that all the time. That's why we're going to look at Ja Morant at a certain window of the Grizzlies closing if he doesn't develop an outside shot. So I'm not going to sit up here and act like that level of thinking is crazy because Lamar Jackson is going to have to, keep improving as a passer. He's going to have to keep improving as a passer in order to, solidify and make up for the loss of his athleticism over time. But you mentioned losses are not equal. They aren't equal. They're certainly not. And that doesn't go for the winning side. That goes for the losing side too. You mentioned that their defense was doing their own thing in terms of holding the Chiefs down with all their struggles, and they couldn't eclipse more than 17 points. You do realize that they had a whole bunch of, without me even trying to give out excuses, you do realize that they were trying to literally change their identity in the middle of the biggest game of their lives at that point in time. I mean, why the hell are you out here being the number one rushing attack in the league and you hardly ever use not only your quarterback's legs, but your running back's legs as well? You're out here trying to be something that you're not, and that eventually cost you. Your defense played out of their mind, and you got the likes of the coaching staff kind of getting in the way of what they want them to do. I mean, hell, we literally just seen it last week. Bruh, they had a double-digit lead. John Harbaugh, great coach, amazing, got him a ring and everything. And he's out here over these past few years with the history of blowing multiple leads when he has the game down in the bag. And we just saw an example of that against a team that, frankly, Mari's team just whooped. The Raiders are not on the same level as the Chargers, and they're not on the same level as the Panthers, and I mean the Ravens. And they still found a way to lose that game against Las Vegas. That's coming off of the backs of Lamar having an outstanding game. I don't want people to look at that as like, oh, he played fine. He played pretty damn good if you go look at the stats. You look at that turnover and you look at how it was caused. It was not his fault whatsoever. And that ain't even me being a Lamar defender. That's me looking at this from the standpoint of how you're getting in these situations where his level of play is kind of diluted because of how bad the decision-making has been from things that he doesn't necessarily have the most control over. While a quarterback has the ability to change up the play, do his thing on certain instances, you can't pretend like that's 100% of the case.
Oh, yeah, trust me. It is 100% the case because once you bring in that new OC that they run the offense favoring around what Lamar Jackson wants to do, you have there's no reason a two-time MVP doesn't have complete control over the play called at the line of scrimmage. That's why you have the chance to audible. If you've been in that offense that 1 year, but that 1 year the OC wanted to give you all the power. You have the option to realize this ain't the throwing game. Let's get on the ground. So there's no excuse on the play caller calling the play. Shoot, you seen what you had. The reason y'all got there. Shoot, they didn't beat Houston prior to getting to that game because they threw the ball so well in the air. Because he played pretty awful. But when they ran the football, we couldn't do nothing.
So
that
are
was
you
their identity?
So are you saying that his identity just all of a sudden just flipped the switch once he went against Kansas City?
Because he was trying to prove he was a passer. It's not the play call. I'm pretty sure he was like, I'm gonna prove I'm a quarterback that game. And quite frankly, he didn't play up to his game. He literally said in the offseason, he said, it was my fault. He said, I should have, he said, we're going to get back to running the football. And the first game when they played Kansas City, what he do? Run the fuck out that hell. Why? Because he realized he didn't leave it all out there. He said he was injured. Nobody cares. Everybody's injured. So are you willing to live and die by this? Because that's the only two ways you're going to make it to that Super Bowl, playing against the elite level talent as Mahomes. And to say that you caught him on an off year, and him not playing his absolute best in those games, and you still couldn't beat him with the superior team, because there was a lot of people that picked Baltimore. There weren't too many people picking Kansas City, you know it. So it's not like I can't give him the excuse of like, oh, the play calling was just awful. It's like, at the end of the day, you're the quarterback. Like Tom Brady at the line of scrimmage, he changing shit. Mahomes is changing shit. Josh Allen is changing shit. Niggas are changing shit. So like we can't just sit there and just say the quarterback that get paid all this money to lead my team to the promised land just don't get no say so at the line of scrimmage. So, hey, fuck this. Like, nigga, I'm going under center. Or like, nigga, like it's an audible. It's a check to everything. He don't gotta just sit back and throw it. So a lot of that stuff was intentionally his wrongdoing.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough in his own right, but you make it seem like he has complete. You make it seem like he has complete control of the entire offense. That's what we would like to typically think of a quarterback. But at the same time, every offensive coordinator, whoever it is, no matter what the quarterback level of play is at that time, they have a certain identity that they want to live and die by. I mean, at a certain point, you can reach that level where you can sit up here and make these adjustments. But even if you reach that level, you can still get static because of how many times you get into it with your offensive coordinator, or how many times you get into it with whoever is the calling the plays, whether that be the head coach based off of what his strengths is, whether that be the OC, whether that be hearing rumblings from your pass game coordinator, whatever that case may be. So for them to literally change their identity, you can place a good emphasis on that for Lamar Jackson. But from the Ravens standpoint, there is a lot of blame that could be going around within that organization in terms of why they have not reached that level. Does Lamar take a lot of scrutiny and responsibility for that? Yes, absolutely. But I'm not going to sit up here and make it seem like just because of his level of stylistic play that is the determining factor of whether the Ravens, in a sense, can ultimately get to the promised land that they haven't been able to do. While it takes a fair share amount of blame, I can't fully agree with him never being able to reach that pinnacle just off of his style.
I mean, I guess the time will tell. I mean, it's a proven fact that you can't win that way, and y'all want to make it seem like he the anomaly. So if he does, kudos to him, because obviously I'm not rooting for him to fail. I just got a theory that I know that. Not even a theory, it's just a known fact. You can't run your way to a Super Bowl as a quarterback, and if he does, good for him. No hate towards him, but Jaden Daniels was elite. Burrow played a great game. Jamar Chase, he looked like Jamar Chase again. I mean, they didn't really double him as much as what he probably was used to. So I mean, hey, he was happy to get a little free coverage and show the league why I called him the number one receiver in the NFL, because obviously he's making it real hard, but Jed is going out there doing what he was doing. But, I mean, it's good to see Jamar back. Hopefully it's not too many more teams that's going to bracket him now with T. Higgins back. So it's like pick your poison. But Bengals, y'all in trouble, man. 0-3. Yeah, know I love them. I love Burrow and Chase, but, man, y'all not looking too good, man. Not whatsoever. The road only gonna get tougher from here, and it's really hard to really tell what team is good and what team is not because it's only 3 weeks in, so it's hard to really just say. But like the Bengals don't look good, bro. They don't look good. Commanders, I don't really know what to take from it. All I can say is that y'all got a quarterback. That ain't your problem. They said, and the line look pretty good too. Y'all look like I got a number one receiver. They truthfully, Commander Loki look like the Texans of last year. Like, I can't say the defense, but I can say quarterback, receiver, decent skill position around. I mean, Noah Brown, they stole it from us. I mean, Noah Brown had his first tonight. He looked good. Mm-hmm. Zach Ertz had a rejuvenating comeback tonight. I'm like, dang, he fumbled the ball on that one play, came back and got the big 4th and 4. Bailing out his quarterback. I mean, I'm not gonna say bailing out, but making plays for his quarterback after his critical mistake. But I mean, if the Commanders are playing like this, I can see them being as a potential wild card in the NFC, especially with the injuries of the 49ers. And I mean, the line's not looking the best. I mean, NFC is wide. The whole NFL is wide open. Because, I mean, shoot, you got Minnesota 3-0. Giants beat Cleveland. Like, I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff going on in the league right now. The Chargers being 2-1. Like, nigga, this is insane. But Washington, if y'all keep it up, bro. I mean, if Jaden Daniels keep up this level of play, bro, y'all gonna be a force to be reckoned with. Y'all, hey, it looked pretty clear cut. Y'all got the best quarterback in that division. It looked pretty clear cut. I mean, shit, you going up against mid to bottom level shit. You got Hurts, Dakota, and Daniel Jones. Hey, that's worse than Herbert.
You say worse than Herbert.
I got a little bit of a hot take, but I don't know if it's as spicy as
blew out this week. Fuck nigga.
Yeah.
Hold that L. We only lost by 10, bitch. I got blew out by how much?
Charles, what was y'all score? Y'all lost what? 36 to 10.
We lost 34 We lost 34-7. We lost
even worse. You should have went with 34-10. That would have helped the case, but I can't even.
Yeah, they lost 30-14. Jair running back pick sixes, hopping and shit.
Man, watch out.
We only lost because Herbert got hurt.
Hey, watch out, man. But nah, I got a little bit of a hot take too. I don't know if it's as spicy as a Lamar one, man. I ain't gonna lie. I know it's early, and I'll most likely be wrong, but right now, at this current moment in time, Commanders might go to the playoffs for real. They might look like the second best team in the division for sure. I mean, I don't like what I see from Dallas whatsoever. We all know nobody's high on the Giants, and while Philly is 2-1, every single game is a struggle in its own right. I mean, we've seen even with their level of excellent play on defense versus the Saints, it was still a grind for them to even squeak by them. The Commanders look really damn good. The Bengals, they must be allergic to the month of September because they can't do shit in that month whatsoever at all. I mean, I think in Joe Burrow's tenure, they've only won one game in September, which is awful. And I'll get into that more in a second, but the Commanders look like they got themselves a team that can sit up here and make some level of noise in the NFC in terms of just making that push towards the postseason. And if all things go well, because that division is wide open just as much as the NFC is, I think they could do it for sure.
Nah, I feel the same way, man. The Commanders, they look very good, very explosive offense. I love the way Jaden Daniels looks, man, like making plays, throwing the teardrops, man. Like, he looked amazing out there today, bro. I mean, y'all done took everything that's needed to say, man. So it's like, I can't do nothing but agree with y'all, bro. Bengals, y'all got to get it together. 0-3 is crazy, but that's really all I got for y'all. But on to the next topic, man. Well, if we good to move to the next topic. All right, on to the next topic, man. We're going to college football. I know y'all watched that game, Baylor versus Colorado. That was a crazy game. So, what are y'all thoughts on that?
Hey, Charles, man. Charles.
What's that? Hey.
Hey, Charles, bro. I'm telling you, bro.
What do you say?
Hey. Hey. Hey, man. That guy nice, bro. Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Shador him, bro. But forget him. He shit compared to this nigga. Travis Jerome Randall Hunter, the junior. This guy's a monster. He's the best player in college football. It's not close. There's no second that's anywhere near him. He is the best player in college football. I mean, on both ends of the field, bro. I mean, he made big play after big play after big play after big play. Did I say after big play already? After big play, nigga, he got, bro. Let's just start it off from the end. We'll go all the way to the end. After he done played probably, how many snaps do you think he played that night? 70, 80. They went to overtime, so he played a little extra.
It had to be north of 80 for sure.
After 100 plus yards in the office, 7 catches, he goes down to the goal line at 6'3", 6'2". I don't know what's the exact height. He's
6'1".
He probably about a buck 80, buck 75, if that.
He weighed 190.
Laying that hat on that ball to game them after 100 plus yard day. I mean, that's special work, bro. To get in there, get in the fray, saying "fuck it," I'm gonna go make a play. I'm gonna go light his ass up. I'm gonna go win the game for the team. And bro, like he's electric. A two-way shutdown artist. I mean, nothing was more impressive for me that day than seeing him go head down and somebody caught a flat on him and he came, wrapped his ass up and lifted him off his feet. Nigga, that hell was the most textbook tackle I've ever seen from a defensive back. I said no. Hey, Dion, you might gotta follow him to the league. This nigga is a meal ticket, even though he don't need one. 7 catches, 130. But man, Shador Sanders, Lord, Shador. Hey, your line is extremely. Hey, your line is this. Bottom of my shoe. Your line is awful, but yet and still he finds ways to make plays, bro. Like, I'm not saying he's the best quarterback, but I'm saying if I'm an NFL scout, I'm like, well, damn, Shador already gonna be right at home in the situation we got. Just shoot. You going into a horrendous situation when you get drafted somewhere in that top 5-ish range. If he slips to the 10, which I highly doubt, 10 is not going to be the ideal situation. So you showing that you giving us every opportunity possible that we have a chance to win with you, because you already showing you playing in horrendous situations. You have great skill players, horrendous offensive line, and you getting still you do everything you'll stand there and take a hit in order to make that throw. And that's all that matters. And truthfully, do I think Colorado's a good football team? No. I still don't think they're a good football team. Do I think they're highly entertaining to watch on Saturdays because they have 2 legitimate NFL prospects with potentially about 4 to 5, and it's sad to say, but all of them on the offensive end at skill positions. But I mean that game was electric. Shador, that end of the game throw. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and just say that was beautiful. I mean, that was a nice throw, but obviously, a little luck goes into all that. I mean, it's college. I guess NCAA 25, the new one just came out. I guess that's the most realistic game we've ever seen because nigga tackling, nigga tip, nigga all that goes. Like, I forgot how real NCAA is. So shoot, I take back everything I said about that game. That game is real. I might got to get back on that game after that. But man, electrifying game, bro. They're gonna probably be two of the worst teams in the Big 12. But it's very Colorado. Even if you don't win them games, if you can stay in them games like that the whole year, I'm perfectly fine. Hey, I'm not expecting y'all to go to no college football playoffs. I'm cool. I just want to see something exciting. And Travis Hunter, he is my leader for Heisman. That's him. That's him. You might as well shut the war down. It's his. You might as well ship it to Colorado. He's a future Texan. It's his.
Man, crazy. I mean, the fact that you see because I'm gonna just keep it real with you. You don't see a lot of corners willing to lay that hat on, like, being on run fit. So to see him do that with the game on the line against a running back that in all scenarios should basically run over you because of his stature and his size and his power, and to essentially ice the game for them on that side of the ball, it's incredible to see. It ain't take me long for me to realize how special Travis Hunter was, because in all honesty, I learned that over time that he's been in college at Jackson State. And then I got even more proof of that when I watched him go crazy against TCU, and even more proof when I watched him go crazy against Nebraska, and even more proof when I seen him go crazy against Colorado State last year. Shedeur, the exact same thing. I mean, these guys are electrifying to watch. And in all honesty, I mean, if they weren't at Colorado, like if it was just like the second that they leave, I might never tune into a Colorado game again. And that's not even me trying to but man, look, I'm just saying, obviously I probably, peak every once in a while for the Dion factor, but I'm just kind of man, I'm over here just trying to just look at how electrifying these two guys are, and we really got to appreciate them for what they're doing for what they're doing in the NCAA right now. It's unbelievable. I mean, the Heisman, like you said, they might as well have that mug gift wrapped. You know what I'm saying? Saran wrap, whatever you want to do, have that mug in a jet and have it in Boulder by tomorrow morning, because he keep playing like this. Ain't no way it's gonna have any level of competition for him. I mean, that man Travis is something special. And Shedeur, the thing about him is, like, what makes him so special is you mentioned he's doing all of that with a terrible situation with his O-line, constantly getting pressure, things of that nature. Defense at times having to be bailed out by him every single game, essentially. And then for him to have that level of calm and poise in the pocket, for him to just sit up here, get hit, get back up, and basically treat it as if there's nothing for him to be excused. Like he looks at it as if there's no excuses, and he just gets the job done to the best way of his ability. It just seems like with him at the helm, they always have a chance of winning the game. And with as terrible of the O-line play that Colorado has, that's saying something. He realistically, because the quarterback play in terms of who's going to come out in this class is going to be, it's going to be some competition for who will be the first QB off the board. You got the likes of him, Cam Ward, Quinn Ewers, Carson Beck. I mean, you got some talented guys out there for sure.
Right. But, so now that we got you right there, you talking about it. Now, who would be your number one quarterback coming out if you and Omari had a vote today? Who would be your number one quarterback that y'all selected with y'all team? Well, not obviously your current constructed team, but if you had a number one overall pick, who are you saying guaranteed, nigga? That's my, like, I don't even got to think twice. You're my guy.
I mean, all of them, in all honesty, are pretty good options. And I'd probably say Shedeur just because of the fact that he's in the worst situation as far as roster-wise, and he's still out here putting up comparable numbers to the leaders in college football. I mean, he's putting up numbers similar to Cam Ward, similar to a Quinn Ewers, similar to a Jackson Dart at Ole Miss, similar to all of these guys. And he's doing it at such a proficient level with how great of a situation that those guys have. I mean, Carson Beck is on a a team in which they just won the national championship twice and only lost one game. Really, they only lost about 2 games in the past 3 years, and that's saying something. Quinn Ewers, the number 1 team in the country. What needs to be said with Texas? And then Miami, we got Cam Ward over there, and he basically bringing back the U with his level of play and the talent around him. But
So, Omari, who
if you compare those to Colorado, it's crazy.
Me, I'm gonna say Cam Ward. Even though I like Quinn Ewers, I like all those names that you just said. But I'm gonna have to go Cam Ward. I like his ability that he's very patient in the pocket. He's real like calm back there. He just like easy, like no problem with it. He can be elusive at times. He's not the fastest, but he can be a little elusive at times. But aside of him and Shador, but I'm gonna go Cam Ward.
Man, Mar, you thinking with your head. I like that pick. I mean, that is my pick. But Shador is a great quarterback. I'm not going to sit here and say he's not. Obviously, would I want to be a little more mobile for my liking? Yes. But, I mean, he is who he is. And a lot of people, I heard somebody say he a Teddy Bridgewater. I was like, that's not even necessarily a bad, like, comparison. Yeah. I can see him being like, I don't want to disrespect him, but like a Geno Smith type of quarterback, not the same level.
That's not disrespect.
No, that's not disrespect.
Geno Smith is solid, bro.
Geno Smith post New York Jets, like his stint in Seattle, if that's who they're comparing him to, then yeah, that's solid as hell. And as far as the Teddy Bridgewater comparison, they talking about pre-injury, like Louisville Teddy Bridgewater. Like, go look him up. That he was nice for sure.
Hey, but I mean, enough about college football. We can get into that all day, man. Last night, Mar, you can take it away from there, man. Kansas City Chiefs, ATL Falcons.
Oh, my God. My question to y'all, man, did the Chiefs get bailed out again?
Oh, 100%. I mean, this is getting ridiculous. I mean, I'm going to keep it short, sweet, to the point. Kansas City, man, the referees, man, that's the 6th man. That is their 12th man. They ain't got to worry. Like, Travis Kelce has been playing the worst football of his career so far. And I don't know what they talking about, double team. Now, quite frankly, that first game, maybe. But I've been seeing an awful lot of double team on Travis Kelce. Y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. But I ain't been seeing people bracketing Kelce every game. He's just not looking the same. He's looking like he lost his step, which is understandable. The older you get, the slower you're going to get. But the Chiefs don't look good at all. Like, even them winning this game is like, they have good players that make big plays. But that offense looks out of whack. I mean, start to finish, it's ugly affair. If you can't force feed it to Rashee Rice, he don't know what to do. Xavier Worthy don't know the route concepts to run in the game. He could have ended the game straight off of that. If he would have just kept running, he stopped. Pacheco being out is kind of a big blow. I mean, you got Steele, who really a fullback playing running back there. I mean, he looked okay, but not Pacheco. Pacheco not going to be back for about 3 months or 2 months. Let me say that. 2 months minimum. So it's kind of like falling apart at the helms. Like, before they can really even get into this three-peat that everybody want to illustriously put them into now, I'm like, bro, I mean, and it's hard. It's hard. Let me sit there and say it's hard. I mean, it's hard for Kansas City or for anybody to count them out after what they done did year in and year out. But officiating does help a lot. Like, that was obvious PI. I mean, they get away with holes. They get away with roughing the passers. Mahomes gets to throw whatever he wants to when a yellow flag out there because he's like, oh, man. The rest of them bailed me out with another one. Whole time, it's like, bro, some of that stuff be fugazi. Like, they called the one last week on
Bengals.
On the Bengals. And then
that was great. That was great coverage. Great coverage.
I can sit there and say that was PI. Like, all of this stuff isn't like the pool in the Super Bowl is like, we didn't want to see it. Like, we didn't want them to call it because, like, bro, it's the Super Bowl. Like, let the players play it out on the field, but that was the PI. Like, some of the stuff is PI. Now, certain other stuff isn't the PR whatsoever. Certain stuff should be called, and they never get called for it. Holds. I mean, shoot, Jawan Taylor was jumping freaking off. He was false starting pretty much from the whole year, start to finish. They just got tired of calling him. They're like, man, you're with Mahomes. You're good. I'm not going to ruin it. We got a lot of money on the line. Like it's ridiculous, bro. And to say that they didn't call that, but PI that was obvious on Kyle Pitts in the end zone again, it's just showing, bro. As long as you got Taylor Swift in there, she don't know what's going on. Yay! Like she don't know what's going on. She watching football. She watching football in La La Land. Like she don't care what's going on. She there. She knows she there for the little girls to come and tune in and get the viewership up and get the merch up and get all that stuff up going to NFL. Like, bro, that's all they care about. So if Mahomes is losing, you think that's gonna be a story? You think Swifty's gonna like that? So what they do? Y'all just get it close enough. Let us do the rest. Like, and if it's too obvious, we can't step in and intervene. But if it's close enough, just sit back. You can do just enough, and I'll take care of the rest. I promise you. I promise you. And that happens every game after game after game. They get bailed out with one thing after the next, and I'm sick of it.
No, facts. It's crazy because they have barely, like, all of their games have been like close games, bro. Like they barely won, and they literally only won off of those calls, bro. So it's quite insane that, like,
And your boy, what's his name, Derwin James out too against them.
Man, I'm not gonna say we were gonna beat the Chiefs. I was just gonna say we were gonna get them a good game. That's what I think. But like, we ain't got nobody. We ain't got Herbert. We ain't got nobody to give them a good game. We lost Joe Alt, so it's like,
damn, all did get hurt.
Yeah, he did. But I mean, Taylor Heineke, he's decent. He's okay. But I mean, shit, it's just, what can we do? What else? What can we do? You know what I'm saying? So I hope it's not a blowout. I hope it's like a close game. But
yeah.
Go ahead, Charles.
Man, it's a narrative around the Chiefs, and if the refs is getting too involved with the games, and that is a narrative that's been going around for a while. And it's been going around for a while because it's for pretty damn good reason. I mean, I'm not going to sit up here and act as if every single game that has a big moment kind of get, overemphasized, and you have this microscopic view of the zebras on the field making all these bad calls or overemphasizing something or, things of that nature. So I'm not going to sit up here and, say that that's in every single game that they play. But I mean, damn, there's no way in hell that shouldn't have been pass interference. There's no way in hell that Kyle Pitts should not be having a chance with the ball on the 1 yard line with the Falcons getting a chance to score. Like, you got to call that by the letter of the law. Now, to look at this from both sides, man, it's like, not to defend the Chiefs, but in any situation, dude, is there any level of favoritism, or not favoritism, but any level of luck that you would potentially get from a potentially bad call called against your opponent? Yeah, that happens a lot in sports. It happens in fouls in basketball, red cards in soccer, yellow cards in soccer, all that stuff. It happens in a competitive game because while we hate refs when they make bad calls, all refs are not perfect. No ref is. So that's going to happen. And did the Chiefs just happen to be on that side of luck this night? Yes. But it just seems with how often they're given this spotlight where we can clearly see the obvious, and there's always something that kind of aids them in a chance to win games. From the standpoint of looking at this objectively, you don't want to be in a position where the refs can't even control the game. So partial blame will go to whoever they're facing or whoever anybody's facing if they feel like they're getting unfavorable calls against them. But when you going up against them Swifties and you going up against that guy with that 15 on his jersey, that got that arrow with KC in the middle, them boys that rock red, white, and yellow, when you going up against that squad, this new dynasty, whatever you want to call it, it's going to be a long night for you. A lot of laundry in terms of how many times they're going to they're gonna throw so many flags. You think that they playing pink, like playing with beanbags. How many times they gonna throw that mud? So it's crazy, bro. And then it's like you could tell how it was gonna go. I mean, I was noticing it in the first game of the season when how many times it was calling that illegal formation. I mean, like, it's not like obviously you want to emphasize a rule that they just implemented for good reason, but I mean, like, for it to be so one-sided on the Ravens end and not to be kind of treated with equal fairness on KC, it's like, come on, you know that ain't right. That ain't good. That ain't. It is what it is. You know, you just gotta let that ride. But it's a bad look for sure, and I hope that shit gets fixed.
And another thing that we need to be talking about that need to be getting fixed, man, is this next subject that I don't obviously it's not the most exciting thing for me right now, but we got to get into it. So Omari, kick us off.
So, Texans versus the Vikings. My two boys right here, Texans fans. Let me hear your thoughts on that.
It's only one for starters. He got handled in Green Bay, and
Before you go,
a sight to see.
Before you go, bro, you do realize that the T in the logo stands for TCAL,
right? Bro, you used to play for the Titans, so I mean,
like Fort Bend, not Tennessee.
But you know where you joined. It was a Southwest Texan right down the street. But you chose them Fort Bend Titans for a reason. You wanted to represent something that meant more to you, and it was that logo, that ugly ass logo, man. But despite your love for them freaking Tennessee Titans, man, let me get into my squad, my Texans, bro. I mean, it was heartbreaking, bro. It ruined my day, quite frankly, because there's so many angles that you can attack this game from with critique or criticism, but we just got to start with the man at top, D'Amico. What the hell are you doing? Why do we have Stingley? His specialty is man to man. If he gets cooked, nigga, he's fried. Let him get fried. But what we're not going to do is we're not gonna let Stingley play one side, let Lasher play another side, and give off coverage to one of the best receivers in the National Football League, Justin Jefferson. Like, that's the recipe for freaking disaster. And that offense, bro, that stuff run game that we had, that we was just, hey, we was stopping all type of running backs. Aaron Jones go for $130 on less than freaking 20 carries. I mean, just embarrassing. I mean, they doing whatever they want, when they want. O-line, I mean, shoot, we thinking Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson should be in the backfield all day long the way we talk about them. Shoot, hey, talk about Jonathan Grenard and Van Ginkel. Like, those were the real MVP. And forget them. Shoot, Brian Flores is a true MVP. I mean, it was just a true humbling test from, like, start to finish. I mean, CJ Stroud, first possession, man. First play, throws a nice pass for a good game. What it gets neglected by? A penalty. And then what happens the play after that? First official play of the official game, tipped interception at the line of scrimmage. And it's ridiculous, bro. It's ridiculous. Like, obviously, stuff like that happens sometimes. Sometimes the ball, I mean, it's been a lot of times the ball hasn't went. I mean, has went CJ way and it was an incompletion. So obviously he get off the hook with it. But sometimes it just happens to fall into the defensive hand. But would I want to say that the pressure and the blame is on CJ? Absolutely not. I mean, if we had any bright spot, any type of encouragement from that game after that devastating loss, bro, CJ Stroud is the truth. He is the absolute truth. He made play after play after play when he could, because that line couldn't block anybody. I know Flores' scheme is crazy. I know he's a defensive mastermind, and he realistically, is he going to get another NFL head coaching job? No. Not in his wildest dreams. As long as he still got that lawsuit with the NFL, he's not touching any type of head coaching chair. He's going to have to drop all of that before he even get a chance. But as far as a great defensive mind, he is probably one of the best in the league. And his specialty is stopping the Shanahan system, which he did to a T the last week in the Shanahan system against Shanahan. So, frustrated. It was very frustrated, man. I mean, Tank, I mean, we got to find ways to get all of our receivers involved. And that don't mean just throw. Put them in the backfield. Let them get some carries. I mean, we down 2 backs already. I mean, Pierce, for what it's worth, I mean, he's not an awful back. He just doesn't fit our scheme. And then we down our main bell cow back and Mixon. I mean, the play calling was atrocious. I mean, we run on 2nd and 2, and I had Texas fans say, "Bro, what are you talking about? You go for the big chunk play on 2nd and 2." Well, I mean, unfortunately, the game ain't going our way, so we need to do something to keep something. If we see we got an 8-yard run on Akers getting back there doing a Houdini trick and double spins, run that bitch again, bro. Because the worst you can get is no game. But throwing and getting CJ head blown off on 2nd down. I mean, like it's certain stuff that doesn't make sense. The play calls don't make sense. Larry Tunsil is the worst tackle in the NFL, and I'm playing Larry Tunsil, by the way. But you had, bro, I promise you, that flat screen television that was in that game room was going to be shattered in pieces if I seen one more piece of yellow laundry for Larry Tunsil and a goddamn illegal formation penalty. Stop calling that. Stop. Is it something Tunsil's not doing? Because it clearly he normally does that on a game-to-game basis. Like he gets his false starts. Okay, I get it. He's gonna get about 2, maybe 3 on a good day. But these are legal formation penalties, bro. Like, do we all realistically think that he just forgot where to line up all of a sudden on this Sunday? Like, let's be honest, bro. Like, the league really, and Titus Howard said in his interview right after the game, saying that this is something that they got to get cleared up with the league because obviously, like, he knows where to line up. Like, he's a pro. He's one of the best tackles in the league. He's not going to continuously keep making these mistakes, but there's something going on with the alignment that these refs all of a sudden want to enforce on the league, but it's ridiculous. Like, I think he has 10 penalties in the first 3 games himself. Larry Tunsil. Nigga, it was a 3rd and 19. CJ Stroud threw it in the – when I tell you that was one of the most beautifulest balls I've ever seen. Call back with yellow laundry all on the field. And just for texture, man. I'm sending y'all the video right now. I don't even think this is the video. I just want y'all to see this Larry Tunsil's effort that we keep giving him all this kudos for. Go check that out. Let's go check this nigga out, man. I need all my CBS brethren to pick that phone up right now. Flip that phone around. And tell me what you see Big 78 out there doing. Huh? What the hell is this guy doing? What is this? Is this second best tackle in the league? What is this? What is it? Somebody let me know what is it.
Some bullshit.
This is piss poor effort, son.
What an effort at.
That look like Omari out there blocking. Come on, man. Have some heart. Like, that don't make no sense, bro. This is annoying. Like, I can't sit out here and watch another Sunday with Larry Tunsil with 3 to 4 yellow penalties on him again, bro. This guy gets to the point where, bro, his elite level pass protection cannot make up for his freaking penalties and the yards and the plays that we gotta keep redoing because his stupid ass can't fucking get a snap count right. Like, come on, bro. Like, we're gonna be okay, but and hopefully next week, I mean, for what the looks of what Jacksonville look like, it's gonna be a shape back week for sure. But I'm not hopping off the bandwagon. I still feel very highly of my Texans, but I mean, we got a lot of things to work on if we're going to ever compete with the likes of Kansas City's and quite frankly, the Jets look somewhat live. Jets and the Bills, but it wasn't a good sighting, man. Sunday was a very humbling experience, to say the least.
Man, that was a humbling experience that I did not expect. Bro, I came in after going to the game live against Chicago. I came in and I said,
you went to the Tennessee game
against Chicago last week.
They played
last week. Last week. Bro, I got the gear in my room.
All right, anyway, you go with your point.
Like, man, hey, you already know how I get down, but bro, I went to the game, like in that environment, and I watched us, you know what I'm saying, do our thing to get our second win of the season. And I said it on the last episode. I said, bro, penalties will kill us. Like, penalties will be the death of us. We had 12 penalties in that game alone, and we walked away with the win because we're the more talented team. But against teams that are, you know, infinitely better than the lack of production we're getting from the opponent side of the ball, we're not going to be able to let that slide and live to see another day. Bro, we had 11 penalties last night. We had 23 penalties in 2 games. Like, that is unacceptable. I'm gonna take y'all to one possession in the second quarter that pissed me off so much, bro.
What pissed you off, man?
Bro, we was down 14-0. Kami already missed a field goal, but we was in range on 3rd and short with a chance to get points, to make this a more competitive game for our standpoint. Give us a chance. Put something on the board before halftime. It's 3rd and 4. We in field goal range. I think we're inside the 30-yard line. False start. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down. So now it's 3rd and 9. Lined up again. It went from 3rd and manageable to 3rd and long. False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down. Now it's 3rd and 14. Now we got to come up with a trick out of our sleeve. Like, we got to come up with a hat out of our bag. False start. Offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down. But it's 3rd and 19. We just had the ball inside the 30-yard line. Now we near midfield touching the Vikings' face. And we threw it to, I believe it was Nico Collins on the sideline, incomplete. You know what's crazy? If he would have caught that, it wouldn't matter. You want to know why? Illegal formation, number 78, 5-yard penalty, replay 3rd down. The only reason the Vikings didn't accept it is because we didn't catch it. We went from field goal range inside the 30-yard line to punting the ball on the face of their mascot. How does that happen with all of this level of talent that we have? Fam, you mentioned Laramie Tunsil and all of his struggles for as highly regarded of a tackle that he is. We personally think he's the best tackle in the league, not named Trent Williams. And this man here, in one game, 6 penalties, 5 in the first half, 3 false starts, and 3 illegal formations. The illegal formations, I'll give him some grace because it's like, you know, that's a new rule they implemented. We've seen how much it affects not only us, but other teams in the NFL. So I understand the frustration and the aspect it comes from on their side, just like it is on ours. But them false starts, but that's not effort plays that we're getting penalties on. That's not pass interference. That's not, you know what I'm saying, illegal man downfield. That's not intentional grounding. That's not holding, not blocking in the back, like illegal blindside. Bro, that's mental. But that's all up here. You can't get the snap count right. And we've seen those struggles. Personally, I seen them last year when we went up against the Ravens in the playoffs, where we were struggling to get him lined up and everything like that to where he could get the cadence. And we was out here struggling again. Now we're in an environment on the road and we can't seem to get things right with him for whatever reason. And I don't understand it. I don't get it because it's like it's consistent. And I got to look up top too. D'Amico Ryans, you talked about him and how he was lined up on how he was aligning Stingley and not having him follow Jetta's around and living with the results. Bro, I'm looking at this from a different perspective. If you are sitting up here and doing all of these different things in the coaching world, either you're allowing it or you're not being holding people accountable for it. Bro, we have a penalty problem. I said it kills us every single time. And we keep getting grilled about it. As much credit as I want to give the Vikings for beating the mess out of us, they didn't get that just off of sheer willpower and everything like that. As much credit as I want to give them, we shot ourselves in the foot too many times for us to say that we lost that game. For me to not say that we lost that game more than the Vikings won it. It was horrible. I mean, we have drive killer after drive killer after drive killer, and it's just insane, bro. I don't understand. We can't get a running game going because the second we do, we have a false start taking us back. We can't establish a great protection scheme, and you think that we would with illegal formations all the times that we got that alone, and we wasn't able to have that sustainable. We only had one defensive penalty. I've never seen that before. One defensive penalty. On the defensive side of the ball is where you get the most flags thrown on you, and all of our flags, for the most part, was all up here. And that's a problem. That will mess around, and if that's a lingering problem, it will grill us towards nut clenching time. Pause. Like, we got to put up or shut up. And it's like, we ain't even going to be able to have the opportunity to put our best foot forward if we keep shooting ourselves in the damn foot. It's crazy. We got to get that shit cleaned up, because if not, then what's the point? We're going to have all these aspirations for nothing.
I mean, your aspirations is y'all believe in 8. So let's start with the we stuff. But
I believe in John Mitchell.
Dude, I'm talking about Will Levis, your Mayo lover. But nevertheless, man, it was a very disappointing weekend. We gonna stay back on Jacksonville for sure, but we can get into the next topic, bro.
All right, man. Week 4 predictions. So first game, we got the Cowboys versus the Giants. Who y'all got?
I got oh man, it was a toughie for sure. But I'm rolling with the Cowboys. I think they'll get a little get back. It's hard because you can see it's all falling down. I got the Cowboys.
I got the Cowboys as well.
Yeah, I got the Cowboys. It is what it is because I don't believe in the Giants whatsoever. So if Dallas loses that game, then all hell will break loose.
All right, next game we got the Bengals versus the Panthers.
Man,
I got the Bengals.
That's a tough game, bro. I ain't gonna lie. You got Andy Dalton versus Joe Burrow, bro. I mean, shoot, Andy Dalton, he a top 3 quarterback in the league at this day and stage right now. So it's like, damn.
Yeah.
Hey, while you playing, we ain't think this was gonna be a matchup that would be close.
Yeah, I'm taking. Man, I'll take Cincinnati by a hair.
Yeah, I got Cincinnati.
I got Cincinnati too, but boy, if they go 0-4, ooh-wee.
They're gonna be looking too good.
Taylor is Baba.
And who you telling?
All right, next game we got the Rams versus the Bears.
I got the Rams, man. The Rams beating the 49ers that's enough for me, man. I mean, don't ever count out Sean McVay. Sean McVay, if they have a losing season, bro, he's still gonna keep his job. He's so elite. They got him a diamond. They got a diamond in the rough in him for sure. They got to keep that. That head coach. I don't know how they beat San Fran. I have no idea. No Puka, no Cooper Kupp, no starter left tackle, left guard, but yet it's still gonna be the reigning NFC champions. I mean, Lord have mercy. Give me Rams.
I got the Rams as well.
Yeah, I got the Rams. His McVay's coaching ability, like for them to even be in a position where because you got to remember they came back in that game, they had a hole that they had to dig themselves out of with all of them depleted weapons and assets on their team, and for them to actually be able to do that, that just gives me more faith in what Sean McVay can do than what anyone else can. So I got the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next game we got the Commanders versus the Cardinals. What y'all got?
Man, I got the Commanders. It's gonna be a good game for sure. I mean, both defenses ain't worth shit, but offense gonna be really exciting. But I think I'll go with the better quarterback here. I'm going Jay Daniels.
I'm gonna go Commanders as well.
I'm not gonna lie. I like what I see from the Cardinals. Like they've, in all honesty, with them being 1-2, they've really shocked me this season. I'm gonna take them birds to fly high.
All right, next game we got the Patriots versus the 49ers.
All right, man. I tried last week. 49ers. Well, shoot, they injured. There's a lot of injuries on the 49ers team, but I go 49ers in the nail biter.
Yeah, I got the 49ers as well. I mean, we gonna see.
Yeah, I got the 49ers. They'll be at 500.
All right, next game we got the Chiefs versus the Chargers.
Oh, I got the Chiefs in a landslide. Okay, that's cake work. Anytime that Kansas City face Chargers, man, it's a bet the ass.
I'd take the Chargers if we had everybody, but
Nah.
yeah, I'm gonna have to go to Chiefs.
How about them Chiefs?
Hey, it's looking spooky for you, Omari. I got KC.
Chiefs.
It's looking spooky. The Chiefs ain't even that damn good, to be honest. Niggas are not
Bet the ass.
But
I got a light skin now.
I don't think that shit not gonna be no blowout, bro. Them niggas aren't good, bro. I don't think it is.
It's
But
okay.
we gonna see. I mean, we ain't got nobody, so it's like
It's okay, bro.
Next we got the Bills versus the Ravens. I am most definitely taking the Bills this game.
You're taking the Bills? Oh, I'm shocked. I got Mark like stuck. That nigga's
I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be different. Ravens flock. Let's go.
I want Buffalo. They way better now. With the better quarterback.
Any given Sunday, right?
We gonna have to see what's up. All right, next game we got the Jets versus the Broncos. I am taking the Jets.
I'm taking the Jets.
By a fucking landslide. They finna literally put them niggas in the coffin.
Now, it's gonna be a close game. I got the Jets though.
It will be close, but I got faith in the Jets, so I'll rock with them.
Next game we got the Vikings versus the Packers. Oh, has Jordan Love came back yet?
He'll be back this week.
Vikings got it.
If they prioritize his health, I mean, Malik, for what it's worth, hasn't been playing terrible. So I mean,
he don't play terrible when he play against that Viking defense. Anybody, that's gonna be your worst game.
You say who?
Malik Willis.
He started.
But I'll go with the upset. Give me Green Bay.
Yeah, I was thinking about going with Minnesota because they look so good, but I really like how Matt LaFleur has incorporated. It seems like he's done a real good job of kind of like making things easier for whoever's at the helm at QB. So I got Green Bay.
All right, next game we got the Saints versus the Falcons. So, ooh, that's gonna be a good game.
Omari got the whole
I said the Vikings.
All right, bet.
Okay.
Charles, guys, you got marked down?
I got mine marked down. I think, but you said the Falcons versus the Saints?
Yeah, I got the Saints versus the Falcons. Saints versus the Falcons.
I'll go Falcons. I'll go Falcons that game.
That's gonna be a good game. I'm gonna take the Saints.
Yeah,
but it's gonna be a close game.
I ain't gonna lie, I got the Falcons.
Oh my god. You just want to hop on the winning side. It's okay, bro.
Man, you act like I chose everything that you did. I'm different.
Yeah, you still got that water balloon coming.
Hey, trust me, your time coming too.
Next game, we got the Eagles versus the Buccaneers.
Man, That's gonna be a very disappointing game. Give me Tampa Bay.
I got the Buccaneers.
I ain't gonna lie. As much as I don't want to choose them, fly Eagles fly.
Next game, we got the Jaguars versus the Texans.
Texans blowout.
Yeah, I got the Texans blowing their ass out. Especially off this loss y'all just came off, bro. Y'all finna let off some steam on these niggas. So,
oh yeah, trust me.
prayers to Jacksonville.
Let's go Toro. Let's go Texans.
He says good Toro.
You're a Raider.
Next game, bro. We got the Steelers versus the Colts. I feel like this is gonna be a good game, but I'm gonna take.
Hell no, I'm taking the Steelers.
Versus the Colts. Ooh. It's kind of hard. I'm gonna go Steelers. I'm gonna go Steelers because that defense is pretty damn solid.
Yeah, he finna call TJ Watt finna cause Anthony Richardson problems.
He hurt my QB.
Yeah.
Him and goddamn Cam Harold, they were causing hell. I'm like, god damn.
Yeah,
that's a Pittsburgh defense. You can't handle that.
I mean,
the
game was over with. Herbert already threw 145 in the TUD, so what are you talking about?
I really went shit.
The Steelers is not good, no cap. I mean, if it on my mom, if it wasn't, I ain't gonna lie. I say this. They only beat us by 10. They quarterback. I like how he looked out there. What's his name?
Justin Fields.
Yeah, I like how Fields looked out there. I forgot. I be getting his name mixed up. But yeah, I like how he looked out there. He nice. Next game, he said, huh?
He hasn't been playing bad at all. I mean, like for his standards, for them to be 3-0, I didn't think they'll be like
do for 200 on this show. Hell, kept getting all these damn calls and
more than Herbert.
Yeah, he threw more than Herbert. Herbert got hurt in the first quarter, second quarter, bro. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he threw more. Everybody not threw more than that nigga so far because we ain't got nobody to fucking throw the ball to. Anyway, it don't even matter. Next game, we got the Browns versus the Raiders. I got the Raiders winning that game.
The Browns versus the Raiders. That might be the booty bowl for real.
I got the Raiders.
Yeah, I don't get no faith in what I see from Cleveland. I got Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, good choice. Next game we got the Titans versus the Dolphins.
Oh, that's gonna
Charles,
be
who you
real
picking?
booty bowl, man. Charles,
who you picking?
Squad.
Charles, who you picking?
You gotta make a fucking move.
You know you want to pick them damn Titans. Go ahead and pick them.
I don't want to pick them, bro, but it's like, fam, Miami is in a bind. So it's like, for that reason alone, man, I have no choice but to pick the Dolphins. Don't get it twisted.
I'm going to pick the Dolphins winning that. They should win, at least. They don't beat them.
I go Tennessee.
Next game, we got the Seahawks versus the Lions.
Wait. Before we move on to that next game, I'm glad that you finally shown your allegiance.
Hey, at the end of the day, as long as my team up by two games in the division, I'm perfectly fine.
I want that lead to be 3. I ain't satisfied.
Well, shoot. Yeah, you on the road to get Travis Hunter. So I don't know what you talking about.
What you mean?
Tennessee gonna have a top 5 pick. You have a chance.
I think we got this shit. Hopefully we get some more skill.
I'm good with Omari and DSJ.
We need some more skill.
Who? Are you talking about the Jerry Sneed?
Hey, you got it, man. I know you miss Derrick Henry. He ain't coming back anytime soon, so you got to do it Mayo, boy.
What's his name? I already said it. Bro, okay, next game, bro. We got the Seahawks versus the Lions. I don't think y'all heard me say it, but yeah. Seahawks versus Lions. Who y'all got?
That's gonna be a real solid game. Give me the line about a little bit. But I like the Seahawks Seahawks are trash too, but
they're not either. They run game is pretty damn good.
Yeah, they're trash. Give me the line.
The Lions, they so volatile with their offense. And Seattle is looking lively on the defensive side of the ball, but only because they playing in Detroit, I'll go with the Lions.
Yeah, I think the Lions too. All right, that's it for week 4 predictions. I'm gonna pass this on to T. Cal for his top 5 power rankings. Go ahead and take it, bro.
Hey man, last week, man, I guess my rankings were somewhat okay, but I mean this week, this gonna be a real disappointing list, man. For my sake. But going into number 5, man, we still got the Houston Texans, man. You feel me? Hey, the league don't look that damn good where the Texans can't be in that top 5, man. A lot of things that we need to clean up from week 3. I mean, it was a straight bet the ass whooping. The worst one I've seen by far in CJ Stroud tenure. It's gonna be the last game we're gonna see of that magnitude. They're gonna be more prepared. We're gonna be more healthy. Christian Harris should come back this week. Danico Autry coming back in 2 weeks. Joe Mixon should be back by next week. And we're going to have the full band back together and shit. It's going to be dangerous. Coming in at 4, man. Coming in at 4. We got the Kansas City Chiefs. No, I'm lying. Coming in at 4. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, Pittsburgh, they done played some pity-patty teams for sure. And I'm not just honoring them on their 3-0 record, but they're a defensive led team. Quarterback gonna run that ball, but I like what I see out of them at this moment. And like we said, we're in week 3. Do I think they're gonna be top 5 when we get to about week 7, week 8, when the offenses finally get established and the teams are established? No, I don't. But for now, they look like the 4th best team in the league to me. Moving on to number 3. Number 3, man, it was a real hard one for me, bro. It's a lot of good teams. It is a lot of good teams, bro. But my number 3, bro, I don't want to say it. I got New York Jets, man. Now, New York, they would have beat up on New England and stuff like that. But I seen a lot of stuff in that game where I'm like, that's another one of them scary teams, bro. Like, and obviously the opponent, y'all would discredit it. Oh my God, they played the Patriots. But Aaron Rodgers showed flashes that he could still be that guy from Green Bay. That offensive line looked somewhat solid, and they didn't look bad the first 2 weeks whatsoever. But the skill position group, I mean, they get Mike Williams more and more involved in the game scheme. They're coming in with lightning and speed. I mean, power and speed with Breece Hall and Braylon Allen, which is a monster. He's 20 years old doing this level of damage. I mean, that team looked dangerous with a defense led by Quentin Williams in the middle. Mosley, he missed that game, and he was a game-time decision, but he didn't play. I mean, Quentin Williams' brother, Quincy Williams, he was an all-pro linebacker last year with the best secondary in the league with Saul Gardner, DJ Reed, and Michael Carter. Like, that team is realistically dangerous. Obviously, y'all will probably think it's some teams that's better than them, but it's what it is. Now, moving on at number 2, man. Number 2, I got the Buffalo Bills, man. Buffalo dominant first 3 weeks, man. First week was a scare. Second week was, you know what it was. But today, I mean, Buffalo, I would like to make a salute. Thank you for beating their ass for the AFC South. We didn't want to hear their fans' mouth because, Lord have mercy, them Jacksonville fans are so damn annoying. What they going to say now? 50 points on national television. At least we stopped them at 34. These niggas put up 50 points on national television. What you gonna do about it? All right, now moving on to number 1, man. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Got the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota went in, and Texans was highly praised, and rightfully so. We didn't look the best, but who does at this moment? We came into there, and they whipped our ass. I mean, it was just straightforward. I mean, defense looks outstanding. And they don't have the necessary stars that you need on defense, but they have players that fit that scheme and personnel. A lot of fast guys, a lot of quick guys, a lot of guys that's gonna make you play mind games with the 6-man fronts at the line, thinking that's gonna be all our pressure. They drop out in cover 2 to add to when they are bringing pressure. And you got people. I don't even want to get into my Texans, but I mean, Minnesota just looks like an overall really good team. A really good team. Do I think they're going to be on this trajectory from here to week 8, week 9? I'm not sure because I know I'm not 100% sold on Sam Darnold, but Kevin O'Connell's one hell of a play caller. I got all the faith in him. So that's my list, man. 5 Texans, 4. Who was 4 Pittsburgh, 3 Jets, 2 Bills, 1. You know who? Who was 1?
Minnesota. Yeah, mine look way different. In all honesty, I want to put the Texans up there, but I'm just so pissed off about it. I feel like they don't really deserve it based off of all the what we put out there on that Sunday afternoon. Yeah, but my list look real different. I ain't gonna lie. At 5, I hate to do this. I got Philly, and I got Philly. They put out a real good showing. They basically walked into. We never thought that the Saints was gonna sit up here and have the best offense in the world, but for them to neutralize them the way that they did, I gotta put some respect on that for sure. 4, I got Pittsburgh. You know, they look pretty dominant on defense, and while the offense is a bit of a question mark, we certainly see that they are capable of making some noise with just some level of, acceptable play from the QB position. And that's what they're getting from Justin Fields right now, and I'm happy for him. 3, I got Kansas City. Kansas City, while it's not impressive, I mean, again, even if we look at them as having help from the Zebras, they are who they are, and I got to give them some level of credit, even though because they don't have no reason for us to kind of look at them as taking it away. They haven't looked great by any means, but we'll see how that goes. Number 2, it's really a toss-up between Buffalo and Minnesota. I'll give 2 to because they really did shock the mess out of me. I'll give 2 to Buffalo. Buffalo, their sheer level of dominance that they've shown since their game against the Cardinals. The offense looks explosive, like they kicked it in the high gear once they was down early to the Cardinals. And then they just haven't slowed down whatsoever. They was doing their thing. And the defense starting to look lively. They shut down Tua prior to that injury, and they shut down Trevor Lawrence, even though we don't really look at Trevor Lawrence as like the amazing prince that was promised in the draft that we was hyping him up to be when he came out of Clemson. And then number 1, I got Minnesota. They look like some world beaters. Kevin O'Connell, you are a madman. Brian Flores, a defensive mastermind. Sam Darnold is looking like this year's version of Geno Smith with his resurgence in his career. Aaron Jones, for some reason, everybody keeps sleeping on his money line. He always hit for me whenever I bet on him, so he gonna do his thing. The offense looks explosive. Defense is way better than what I anticipated, and for me to look at them and think that they're the worst team in their division, and for them to be, alone at their position in the NFC North at the top is insane for me to even think. So I got to give them respect where it's due.
Yeah, so at 5, I got the Eagles. I like how they looked this past week as well. 4, I got the Steelers. Really defensive-led team. They're not all that on offense, but from what Justin Fields was able to do against our defense, I really like that. That was pretty damn impressive. The Chiefs, I mean, I got them at 3. They ain't really done shit, in my opinion, but it's just like these niggas the Chiefs. I mean, it's America's team, I guess. But number 2, we got the Bills. I like how they look, man. Their offense is very explosive. I like that Josh Allen is just balling. Like I love it. Him and the running back. What's his man
James
name?
Cook.
Yeah.
Yeah, James Cook. He's looking amazing, bro. The number one. I got the Vikings right now. Um, Sam Darnold really just balled out like that. Like I can't believe that. Like that's crazy. Like this is somebody that we watched as kids, bro. Like
Seeing ghosts.
bro, seeing bro people that we've forgotten about. Like these are guys that we've seen as kids, bro. That is insane to me to see like somebody from the past just reappear again and he's balling. Like that's crazy. So that's my top five power rankings.
That's not a bad file whatsoever. I respect it.
Yeah, I like all of y'all list. But all right, next. Speaking of ghosts, man, y'all already know who we finna talk about.
Oh,
So, what is our reaction? What is your reaction to the Panthers game, man? We seen Andy Dalton, another ghost. I haven't seen him since them times in like with the Bengals with AJ Green, bro. Like I was a kid. What is your reaction to Andy Dalton going crazy
man,
against?
I feel glad. I'm very glad that he's improved my point from last week. Cause obviously we released a clip today that we done sat on the ice for probably about a week. But the Bryce Young stuff, bro, it's like they said. Oh, I said I was a madman for saying that offense wasn't that bad. I had cheers on that last week. Bro, you're tripping. What weapons they have? Deontay Johnson, Adam Thielen. Well, Red Rifle went out there and craved up a 300-yard, 3-touchdown performance that day against the Vegas Raiders, who beat the Ravens, who just beat the Cowboys, and everybody got credibility on them names. So, take it how you want. But like I said, and I will continue to repeat, the quarterback position has to be played with confidence. You cannot be unsure of yourself at the quarterback position. You cannot be low on self-esteem. You have to be the most. You have to feel like I'm the shit. I'm a pop it every time I get on the field. Nigga, win, lose, draw. Nigga, I'm confident in my ability. You can never take that away from me. And the moment Bryce showed that he wasn't confident, bro, you can literally like the easiest reads on the planet Earth that a quarterback knows. Like, okay, like this is my check, this is my one, this is my two. He's not even making those. Like he's so stuck on the bad read, he think the opponent is his team. At certain points, he's just throwing it to him. I'm just like, bro, like it's okay to take that reset. Like reset. Let him go to the bench. Let him observe. He's not ready yet. Like everybody isn't made the same. Like CJ Stroud is an anomaly. Like we haven't seen a quarterback that good in like ever. Like that's how rare it is. And truthfully, we might see somebody else in the making in Jaden Daniels pretty soon if he continues this up. If he goes on the trajectory that I believe so, he's gonna be somewhere close to that CJ Stroud rookie year. I mean, he's impeccable, but Bryce will be fine. Bryce just needs that time to sit on the bench, learn the playbook more, but not be don't be a sucker. Don't be on the bench pouting and crying because you're not getting your way and stuff like that, or don't feel like, oh, they did a disservice to me. Like you're in a league with grown ass men that have to pay. Like they're making money. They're risking their lives out there. And to say that you're gonna be limiting them from doing their job at their fullest abilities, you should be glad that the head coach stepped in before you made any more of an enemy out of yourself in the city of Carolina than what you are right now. Because truthfully, the longer you stayed in there, the more they were gonna hate you. And obviously, they would have been way much as happy to ship your ass off to one of these little foreign little cities where you're gonna realistically you're not gonna be the same guy that you would like that you could have been in Carolina if you were just set out. So for you, Bryce, please just sit down. Like sit down, learn. You're winning. I mean, y'all won. I don't know how much more winning y'all gonna do, but learn from Andy. Like learn from Andy. You'll be better in the long run, but for right now, you stunk. You weren't a good quarterback. It's okay. Everybody's not a good quarterback coming out the gate.
Yeah. I guess he kind of proved my point too with the decision of Andy Dalton getting over Bryce Young and then coming out here and actually showing way more productivity for the Panthers as opposed to what we've seen from Bryce Young in the past 2 games. I mean, Andy Dalton has half the amount of wins that Bryce Young has in the Panthers jersey over the past 2 seasons, and he got that in his first game starting. Like, he has more yards, more touchdowns, put up more points on the board for his offense than what Bryce Young has done over the past 2 games. Like, if that doesn't tell you everything that you need to know, then you know you must need to get LASIK surgery or something. Get your eyes checked because basically the Panthers are infinitely better with Andy Dalton at the helm at this moment right now. Because with Bryce Young, it's a tricky situation. I mean, you're throwing him into the fire, and we expecting him to get all this, be the savior because he's a #1 pick. That's what #1 overall picks are supposed to do: be able to save a franchise from the bad decisions and the mistakes that even got them to that point. And when he didn't, our people that sit up here and look at them as like having a bad roster or bad O-line, bad weapons. And then you sit up here and look at Deontay Johnson having a great day. You sit up here and look at Adam Thielen doing his thing. You look at Chubb being productive, and you just sit up here and be like, well, okay, is Bryce Young the problem at this moment in time? And I don't think that he is. I think that he's just, like you said, having a bunch of like mental imbalances of his confidence being shaken for sure. But at the same time, it's like the Panthers got a chance to win games now, and they want to win games now as opposed to later. They're not looking to build on the future. And while they look at Bryce Young as an asset, they're looking at Andy Dalton and thinking to themselves like, hey, the NFC is wide open. And I'm not saying that they're going to mess around and have a turnaround of a season. But if they have the opportunity to do so at this moment in time, Red Rifle is the guy that needs to be at the helm in that position. And Bryce Young just needs to sit back and observe. That way he could gather all the knowledge, regain his confidence. That way, whatever situation he gets into at the starting quarterback position, because he will get another opportunity, whether it's in Carolina or not. He needs to sit back and absorb everything that he can from the sidelines, because while it ain't the best thing that he wants in his eyes, I mean, it's probably what's best for him in terms of the long run. So the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, man. For sure, Bryce, take that time to learn, develop. You know what I'm saying? Andy Dalton is a pretty damn good quarterback. I mean, for somebody that's 36 years old and they come out there their first start and throw for 300, that's pretty damn impressive, man. This is a ghost we talking about. This is somebody that's been in the league since 2011, bro. We were 11 years old. Like, he's been in the league for a while, so learn from him. He's a well-known quarterback. So I feel like, you know what I'm saying, that I feel like it was necessary to sit him. You know what I'm saying? So take that time, learn, you know what I mean, and shit, learn from Red Rifle. But let me see. On to the next topic. Wait, we ready for the next topic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, next topic, man. Which team is your biggest disappointment so far in the league?
Listen, it's so many. I can't even name one. But if I had to say biggest disappointment as of now, realistically, I'd probably say the Cincinnati Bengals, man. I mean, 0-3. I mean, I would have said Dallas. They did look bad, but that's a 2-loss team. At least they won the game. I would say the Ravens, but the Ravens been up in all 3 of their games, and they just won a previous game. But I mean, one of the only winless teams left in the NFL with all that talent, with the second best quarterback in the league, with the best receiver in the league, with a top 20 receiver in the league, and T. Higgins. I mean, it's no excuse on why that team is that bad. It's very disappointing if they don't make the playoffs or make any noise coming up very soon. That whole building's going to be shook up with a lot of moves. Zach Taylor would no longer be employed at that building. They'll be finding a new head coach. Jamar will be perfectly fine because he's going to get his payday. But I think Cincinnati, especially after the night, with them clicking on all cylinders and still find a way to lose, it's not a pretty sight to sit there and say that you got one of the highest paid, the second highest paid quarterback in the NFL, not producing to its standards. I hope it changes, but disappointed by far is the Bengals. I had them as my AFC North champion, so it's tough on me for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And in all honesty, I want to, go another route and choose a different team, just to give some variety. But I mean, there's no more of an obvious answer than Cincinnati. I mean, this team has what we consider a top 2 quarterback in the NFL. The only person that's better than him in our eyes is Mahomes. They got who you consider the best receiver in the league. They got a defense that is pretty good. Trey Hendrickson doing his thing, making an impact in basically every single game that he plays as of late. The only team we realistically see take down the Giants and the Chiefs, and essentially they're out here, methodically just going through the motions at every single point in time. Now, I want to give them some grace because they do this all the time in the Joe Burrow era of Cincinnati football. I mean, they just are a sluggish team in September. The early games, it seems like they just think that that don't matter, and they always find a way to kind of flip that switch. But in the second game of the season, they lost to the Chiefs. You take no shame in that. But the first game, your offense was MIA. They didn't show up to the field, and they lost to a team and to a quarterback that didn't even account for more than, I believe, 150 passing yards in Jacoby Brissett. They lost to a team that we realistically was going to consider to be on the level of the Carolina Panthers fighting for the worst team in the NFL. Now, obviously, that ain't the case right now because the Patriots have some level of that. I mean, for them to beat a team that we thought was going to go to the playoffs. But, I mean, for them to go against the Commanders, who are a good team, by the way, and have their defense not get a single stop by themselves with the offense that scored over 30-plus points, that's embarrassing on all fronts. I mean, they couldn't stop a runny nose. You know what I'm saying? It's terrible what they got going on. And I just hate it for them because, we realistically look at it as them as one of the best teams in the NFL heading into the season because of the amount of talent that they got. But it's looking spooky for Cincinnati, and I don't think that they'll be able to get out of this hole, at least not this time. They could prove me wrong because they've done it before, but this time it just seems like it's a whole lot more different than what we used to.
No, I agree. My team, I'm going to honestly say that's kind of disappointing. I know they're limited due to injuries, but I'm going to say the 49ers, man. It's just crazy. I said the 49ers. Yeah, I'm going to say the 49ers because, man, it's just crazy. Like, we literally listed them as hell. We spoke so highly of them after week 1, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we said they took off. They left where they took off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Did that make sense?
You said who? You said
left. They look like they were the same. They looked the same from last year. Is what I was saying. They look pretty damn good. We were saying
they were gonna pick up where they.
Yeah, we picked. They look like they picked up where they left off. That's what I'm gonna say. But yeah, we spoke so highly of them, man. And for them to have the record that they have right now is insane. And I understand that they lost injuries, but they lost a lot of people due to injuries and everything like that.
They just lost Hargrave.
Yeah, and it's crazy, man, just to see them in this position. But it's only week is about. What is this, week 4 that we in right now? So it's still early in the season. So I'm hoping they pick it back up. But yeah, I say that's probably one of the teams I'm for sure disappointed in.
It's understandable.
Mm-hmm. So next question: what team is your biggest shocker so far?
I mean, I think it's an obvious answer. I think by far Vikings. I mean, the Vikings beat the Texans and the 49ers, which people have seen as in their at least NFC, AFC divisional round, potentially conference championship representatives. So to say that they went in there and put the spankings on both of us like that, I mean, it just goes to show that, hey, that's a team that we had finishing last in their division. Like, nobody had Minnesota at 3-0 at the beginning of the season, looking like one of the most dangerous teams in the league. Which obviously I know it's a 17-week league. Anything can happen, but Minnesota, we was expecting them. Sure, we thought they were gonna get another one of them guys. We thought Travis Hunter was gonna come through the deal, or one of them top draft picks. We thought they weren't gonna be good, but I mean, I guess we got to sit back. Revenge tour coming soon. Sam Darnold, you go out there and you go shock the world, man.
Yeah, I'll be different. I agree with you, but just for the sake of putting some variety, and this is more of a personal thing, I'll go with Buffalo. And the only reason I say Buffalo is because of the fact that I didn't think that with the losses of Stephon Diggs, the defensive losses that they had on that side of the ball, and alongside with Gabe Davis, I didn't think that their offense would be able to look as dynamic as they have been over the past 3 weeks. I mean, you want to talk about a team that got some firepower, some explosion. I'm thinking we're going to have a drop-off year from Josh Allen. I'm talking about him being a turnover machine in the NFL that you can literally bet against in terms of how many times he's going to throw interceptions, how many times he's going to lose the ball on a fumble, or some level of giving the ball away. And this man is not only protecting the ball, but he's looking as dynamic as ever. He's making a claim of being an early MVP favorite. And while I may be part of the only few that didn't think that would happen, I got to give respect and credit where respect and credit is due. Buffalo is looking, honestly, if I'm being completely honest, like a better version of themselves than what we thought of over the past few years. So with that being said, just for the sake of being different, Buffalo is probably the most shocking because I ain't expect this level of productivity, and I ain't expect this level in the way that they're doing it. So shout out to Bills.
That's a great pick.
Both are great picks for sure. Both of y'all said some great picks. I don't want to say my team. I ain't gonna say that. Nah. Even though I can go in depth with it. Fuck it. I'll say my team. Even though that we 2-1, finna be 2-2. But nah, I'm gonna say the Chargers, man. I'm honestly shocked that and we don't just look the best, but I'm just shocked that we could pull old J.K. Dobbins out and he can. He's one of the top leading rushers right now and everything like that. So it's crazy to see him out there just doing what he should have been doing when he first got in the league, but he was hindered due to injuries and everything. It's good to see that Quentin Johnson, he got 3 TDs, right? 3 tuds right now, and it's crazy to see that how much of an improvement that he's made. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody used to be on QJS, and it was funny, but I'm just glad he improved. We got a lot to work on. The defense is getting better for sure, but yeah, I'm gonna say my team is my shocker team, the Chargers. I'm gonna say that because I did not expect us to be 2-1, honestly. So, yeah. This nigga put a hat on. I was gonna say the Steelers, but because I'm surprised they 3-0.
Yeah,
I can go in depth with them niggas too. So it's really didn't matter to me.
Yeah, I mean I thought that they was gonna probably be the worst team in that division too. So they doing their thing. Shout out to.
You talking about the Steelers?
Yeah, shout out to Pittsburgh. That boy Mike Tomlin do not want to lose in record.
So he's a great coach, bro. There's a reason he's been in the league this long and done the things that he's done, bro. So there's a reason they keep on rehiring and giving him more money and everything, bro. So he one of the few coaches that know how to scope out talent and actually develop it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, or take scraps that people don't want and actually make something good out of it.
Nah, facts. But hey, man, that's a wrap for episode 23 of Cheddar Stack Podcast, man. Appreciate you if you made it to the end of the video, man. Like I said, every single video, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Come follow us on all our social media pages. To follow our individual ones. We only going up from there, man. Updates coming soon, man. Big purchases came. We can't tell you about all that right now. It's gonna be a surprise, but man, y'all don't want to miss out. Man, CDS going up to the top. Hey, Charles, hit her with it, man.
Hey, man, you already know how it go down. If you need the facts, come check the stats.
Believe that. We out.